What is going on, my future meta millionaires? It is your boy Terry Stonkers, and welcome to my channel, baby. Buy the dip. All right, guys. In today's video, if you just watched the previous one down here, you can see I'm recording this before we go live premiere on the other one. That had a lot of information about upcoming things we look forward to in the earnings. So I wanted to do the top Robinhood questions in a separate video. So that is what I'm bringing to you in this video, and you make sure you want to watch this before the earnings come out and see if they tackle some of these questions. I believe it's the next day when they have the questionnaire and the answers to that. So we're going to go over those, and we're going to give our thoughts and opinions on some of these questions, and I want to see your comments down below. What do you think some of the answers will be? Will we get some divvy information? And we're going to cover all that. So hope you are ready for today's video. If you are, smash thumbs up, leave a comment down below. So baby, let's go. So here we are on Robinhood. We're going to go over some of these top questions and let's see what we got. So this is closing soon, so you want to make sure if you get your question in. So here we go. When would the special dividend be paid to preferred shareholders? That is the number one question with 2.6 thousand votes, 3.9 million shares represented here according to Robinhood on this. So very interesting here. This is available through the Say Technologies. Like I said, be very careful though. They are asking for like a lot of personal information. So I did not send in a question because I believe a lot of the questions I have are going to be answered in these questions in today's video. Here we see we got another shareholder asking, does MMAT hold any large contracts and what are they? That has 1.7 thousand votes representing 3.4 million shares represented. So that's another fantastic question. But we know George has tackled some of these questions in some of the recent interviews. We have a lot of NDAs, which is non-disclosure agreements. We could have deals at Apple. We could have deals with Tesla. We could have deals with Lockheed Martin and everyone else. But if we have an NDA where we're not allowed to announce who it's with, because the reason that is, say someone like Apple is using us for certain products. They may not want Samsung or other competitors to know they're using our company because then that company could come use us for the same kind of product. So that's why a lot of these NDAs are in there. George has said to look at our financials, look at the revenues, look at the growth, and that's where you're going to see a lot of these at. So I think that could be a similar answer, but maybe George will come out and they'll surprise us and maybe they can announce a deal tomorrow in the earnings. So that would be great. Maybe they're allowed to announce one of them. Maybe they were saving one for the earnings. That would be great. Maybe they were saving one to announce. So we got another question here. And this is a pretty interesting one. Andrew asked, stock performance has been underwhelming so far. What are the plans to change that? And what are the products and services that will be used? This has 1.7 thousand votes and it represents 3.1 million shares. So that is a fantastic question, but in my opinion, I believe it does fall under the retail stock, the small cap, all small cap stocks, retail stocks are just devastated. They're all down 50 to 80, 90%. And we're just in there with a lot of them. There's a lot of stocks that were, crazy amounts. I mean, look at one like Teladoc, over $300 some down to 70, 80 bucks. So stocks are getting devastated right now, and we're just in that class. But maybe they'll have an answer for us. Maybe they can come out with some great guidance. That's what we want to hear is, man, I'm excited for guidance tomorrow. I want to get in there and read the guidance. What are we going to be able to look forward to? And I'm hoping they have saved some news to announce for the earnings. So a lot of great questions here, and I can't wait to see some of these will get answered. Richard is asking, when will the Torch dividend be paid out? Another great question. I mean, guys, this has been going on since like June 28th of 21. People just want this resolved, and I can understand why we keep getting these questions because, of course, we all want to get these questions answered. So we knew that they put out that article in the beginning of January, roughly, announcing that there would be something coming here in March. So will they do it at earnings? Will it be a couple of days after earnings? Will it be mid-March, late March, right at the end of March? We know from George's recent interview that he did say there will be updates to come via press release. So we got to wait for press releases, guys. All right, so let's go down here. This is a great question for MetaMaterials, right? Actually, when do you expect the new facility to be up and running? Has 1.1 thousand votes, representing 2.6 million shares. So Kyle asked that question, and that's a pretty great question because they have it all going, and maybe they could give us some kind of update. I remember the last time they did talk about it, there was some actually supply chain issues and delivery issues with truckers and stuff, and COVID really was affecting it because I don't think it's necessarily the Rona in a sense, but I believe it's the vaccine mandate is actually probably the number one cause. We got the convoy going on, so the convoy, and there's that stuff from the Canada and the vaccine that could be causing a lot of supply chain issues with the Rona. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see if George and the team and Ken, if they'll look to answer that question. Like I said, guys, as I'm going over these questions, comment down below the question and your answer to it and your opinion. Great question here. Another retail investor asks, what can we expect in the next couple of months? Has 997 votes, and that represents 2.1 million shares. Now, guys, I want to hear him pretty much put a like on all these top questions because they're all great. There's no dumb questions. I mean, any question we can get, I want to get answers for. So more questions, the better. Another great question here. What can we expect the next couple of months? My guess is going to be possibly more partnerships. We've been at a lot of these conventions, but the question is, are we going to be allowed to announce anything? That's the question about the partnerships. What can we expect? Can we announce anything, or are we all under NDAs, which we don't want to be under NDAs? Which NDAs are good, I guess, because they will show up in the earnings report. You're going to see, whoa, earnings jumped up, so we must have got a contract in there with someone. But the bad part is we can't like brag about who it's with. Like, hey, we just got this deal with Tesla, we just got this deal with Apple. We got this deal with, NVIDIA or whoever we're helping out. And we can't announce that if we're in an NDA. So I understand why we have to do it because, money is money at the end of the day, and we'll take it as we get it. All right, pretty similar question here from Mark, but it's a great question. When is the special dividend expected to be paid out, and what is the estimated payout? That is a great question in a sense, and I'm going to tell you why I kind of like this question. Because before everything kind of started, there was that interview with George. The famous interview where he talks about the dividend can be anywhere from $1 to $20, and depending on he don't know how the Biden administration was going to be, and he can't predict where the price of oil is at. So I know he ain't allowed to talk about it, but he talked about it back then before stuff was kind of going, and he probably is under a no talk kind of clause deal. No kind of giving out because oil, as we know, is hush hush. But I would like to know if he could, give a kind of our dividend now is roughly between $10 and $30, $10 and $60. Can you give an update on that? Like a ballpark deal? Are we not getting a dividend at all? Are we just getting a spin out? Which I think they have announced. It kind of seems like it's going to be a spin out, but what kind of spin out? I know there's all kind of different spin outs out there. I know Roller Pitching has been really covering it, and so has Tony from Market Moves. So great channels there to go check out. They've been covering a different kind of spin out. I know there's like a sponsored spin out where they give you so much dividend now, cash up front. They buy your other shares later on. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that one. Let's go down here. This is a fantastic question for MetaMaterials for MMAT itself. Where do you see MMAT 5 years from now as a company? That has 909 votes. That represents 2 million shares. So that is probably one of the best questions for MMAT stock by itself, in my opinion. That is a fantastic question. I'm going to give my prediction. I believe in 5 years, I'd like to see us hopefully profitable. That would be nice. Our company be profitable. Maybe giving out dividends. George has talked about this on multiple occasions. Once, because we are a new company, guys. We've only been on the stock market like 6 to 8, about 8-9 months now. George has mentioned once the company's profitable and we got money on the balance sheet and in the books, we would like to do dividends, special dividends, things like that. So I would like to see in 5 years, could we be profitable? Do they expect, could they announce, like, do we see ourselves as each quarter goes by? How close are we getting to profitability? We're going to see that probably about tomorrow. How close were we? Probably a couple years away at least. But in 5 years, I'd like to see us be profitable. That would be nice. I think we're going to here and go over one other question here, and this is a good one as well. Why were MMTLP shares allowed to be traded on the OTC market? How are the original holders benefited for holding one? Now, that is a fantastic question, and I'm not going to touch that question because I'm going to let George and Ken tackle that question if they tackle it, because as we know, it's pretty much out there. I covered it in yesterday's video that if you buy MMTLP, you are going to get the preferred Series A share. So is there going to be any special benefits to the original Torchlight holders? And I hate to say it, but I don't think there's going to be, because I don't think there's a way to really determine that, because as we know, George has said these preferred shares were held in street name, which means the brokerages held these. They were not assigned to you, me, or your individual name. They were just held at the brokerage to the people that held the shares. And, you know, so if Fidelity say they had 100 million shares, they just had Fidelity have 100 million shares and they showed up in the brokerage's account. And then maybe another big, say like someone like BlackRock or whoever had Torchlight had enough, a couple million shares to list on the OTC. People saw money go into the brokerage account and they just decided to sell it. So I don't know if there is going to be any special benefit, but maybe there will be. Like I said, we're going to let them answer that and go from there. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Going over the top questions on Robinhood, and we're going to see if we get these answered here in the next couple of days. So, hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, guys. Peace.